Welcome to the Cactus factory and good afternoon. This is my first live launch and also the first live that we're ever doing, so we had some technical issues to start with, but here we are. So my name is Oskari Jaakkola and I'm the CEO of Cactus. We're here in Kempele at the Cactus production facility and we're going to do a tour of the factory and we're also going to see some new very exciting products. But before that, let's go through the backdrop of why energy storage exists and what Cactus has set out to resolve. So firstly, looking at the global energy markets. The global energy consumption is growing at a rate of roughly 2.5% per annum, which is quite a rapid rate because that concerns all of the forms of energy. However, the consumption of electricity is growing at more than double the rate, which is a huge speed. Now, the electricity system is also undergoing quite a rapid and dramatic change. So generation of electricity is increasingly weather dependent, generated with renewable means, meaning that the generation volatility is increasing. Also on the consumption side, so as we just said, the electricity demand is growing at a rapid rate, but the growing demand is also different from what it was before. So the new loads that we see in the grid are typically very large and they're intermittent in nature. And the electrical system is challenging because you always need to generate an equal amount of power to what is being consumed. And as we have increasing volatility on both demand side and supply side, we're seeing an increasingly difficult balance to manage. We see that in the electricity markets, spot market rates of electricity are very volatile. We can have 100, 1,000 or even 10,000-fold intraday price fluctuations. Another thing that is causing some issues in the electrical system is the increasing power and the grid stability or grid sufficiency. Electrical grids are complex systems and they require investment to increase the available power in connections. However, grid investment projects are very long and expensive. Building new grid lines, new transformers, new distribution infrastructure may take a number of years. And that's affecting the availability of power at our clients' premises. What we do as Cactus to support our clients in this change is that firstly, utilizing technology, our batteries, our software, as well as services like our trading, maintenance and financing, we enable our clients firstly to have a hedge against electricity market risk. Our clients don't need to consume electricity when it's at its most expensive rate. We also sell our clients affordable electrical energy. Secondly, we provide our clients with access to electricity markets. We trade on our clients' behalf using their batteries in the wholesale markets of electricity, the day ahead and the intraday markets, as well as the ancillary services markets to earn trading income, revenue and income for the assets of our client, i.e. the batteries. Thirdly, we improve the availability of electricity for our clients. Using our batteries and the peak shaving feature, our clients can consume electricity at a higher power than what is available from their connection. And we also supply them with reserve power to increase their resilience for blackouts. Now we can have a look at a couple of client cases, case examples of how our systems help our clients in practice. Firstly, let's have a look at VBUX. VBUX is a chemical company operating in the Nordic area. They transfer chemicals across the Baltic Sea and operate chemical terminals in different Baltic Sea countries. Particularly in Malmö, VBUX is electrifying their fleet of delivery trucks, and they need to charge the trucks at their chemical terminal. The issue, though, that they are facing is that the trucks charge at more than 400 kilowatts, but the DSO only gave them a 100 kilowatt connection. So they had a 300 kilowatt problem in their hands. We supplied them with an 860 kilowatt hour Cactus energy storage system, which does peak shaving. So as you see in the graphs, when the truck is charging at more than 400 kilowatts, simultaneously the batteries are discharging at 300 kilowatts, leaving only 100 kilowatts to be taken from the grid. And once the charging operation is done, the battery will slowly top up from the grid to prepare for the next charging event, enabling electric transport of chemicals. Secondly, we can look at Cafe Carousel. Cafe Carousel is a very traditional, chic cafe in southern Helsinki in the Kaivopuisto neighborhood. Cafe Carousel is a very advanced company. They use renewable energy for the electricity. They generate their own on-site PV, and they also make use of the heat in seawater to reduce their energy consumption. For the clients of Carousel as well as the owners of Carousel, it's very important that their operations are environmentally friendly. To increase their self-sufficiency in energy as well as manage their energy cost, they decided to get a Cactus energy storage system. Cactus supplied a Steno system for Cafe Carousel, and it's supporting charging renewable power generated locally, as well as leveling the peaks of the operations of Carousel, cooking and things like that. And while it's not doing one of these things, it's participating in the electricity markets to generate income for Cafe Carousel. Thirdly, we can look at Rando Grid. Rando Grid is a classic example of a grid-scale project. Rando Grid has 10 megawatt hours of Cactus battery capacity, and Cactus was the project developer, so Cactus acquired the land, Cactus acquired grid, Cactus delivered the systems and completed the project. Once the project was complete, it was sold to its current owners. Cactus remained as the operator and the balance responsible party. Rando automatically trades in the electricity markets and the auxiliary services markets, generating income for the project owner. Good. Now we can shortly move to the unveiling of our new exciting products, but before that, let's have a look at our production at the factory. So as said, we are here in Kempele, close to Oulu in northern Finland. Some of you might remember that Cactus actually started from a small city called Muhos 4 years ago. We moved to Kempele approximately a year ago, and quite a few other things have happened since the days of Muhos as well. As said, Cactus started roughly 4 years ago. We were 7 founders back in the day, and now fast forward to today, we're more than 100 professionals working across multiple sites in Finland and elsewhere. Our most recent completed fiscal year ended at the end of April, and our turnover on consolidated basis was roughly 12.5 million euros. For the first time, we also posted positive EBITDA. Our revenue grew more than 4-fold from the year before, which again was more than 4 times our first fiscal year. Now, let's look at the interesting stuff. So the technology behind our systems. This is a battery cell. It's an LFP cell, a prismatic one. This is one of the only components that we don't manufacture here in Kempele, but this is the starting point of our products, and namely the DC block. Cactus designs and manufactures its own DC blocks. We are one of the few European companies who have their own DC block technology. The DC block, as said, has these LFP cells, and in addition, it has the battery management system, the cooling system, and various auxiliary components. This is where we manufacture our DC blocks. So the DC blocks are first mechanically packaged, then they are sent into the robotic welding machine, which connects the cells into series, and finally they are sealed off for use in our battery projects. Our new DC block is very compact. It's more compact than most of the alternatives in the market, and it also makes our battery systems very conveniently sized and also competitive in price. So let's move on to have a look at the other parts of our factory. Shortly, we will be passing through our robotic warehouse machine, which conveniently delivers the various components and parts our people need to manufacture our energy storage systems, including not only the DC block, but also the AC side. Here in Kempele, our products go through the full manufacturing cycle. So we manufacture the DC block, we manufacture the enclosure, we manufacture the AC side, and finally we arrive at the testing area. This is where Cactus products undergo FAT, Factory Acceptance Test. Factory Acceptance Test is a quality control procedure with which we want to make sure that the stuff we ship lives up to the standards we require from our products. In the Factory Acceptance Test, we test all of our systems for maximum charging and discharging power, different market functionality, as well as safety. We use things like thermal imaging to make sure that all of our joints are appropriately tight and that our products are safe and sound for delivery to our clients. But now, we are done with the factory tour, and we can look at the exciting stuff, the new products. This is the first one of them. This is called the Cactus Steno. The Cactus Steno is a 215 kilowatt-hour outdoor battery energy storage system. The power of each system is 92 kilowatts. So it's approximately a 2 and some hour battery. The Steno is suitable especially for our C&I, commercial industrial clients, such as shopping malls, manufacturing, as well as infrastructure and office buildings. The Steno is modular, meaning that we can install one or multiple pieces of these units into a location, thereby achieving larger systems. The Steno is already being delivered, so we've installed multiple Stenos to our clients. You saw Cafe Carousel in the beginning, so the Steno is well available, and of course our salespeople would be more than happy to present it to you. The Steno, as all the Cactus products, come complete with our service package, meaning a 10-year operating lease, as well as financing. So after entering into a contract with Cactus, our client receives the hardware, the automation, the software, the trading, the services, and the financing they need to run their battery energy storage system hassle-free. We also supply electricity to our clients where our clients need. Very good. Then we can have a look at the second launch of the day. And we have video here shot earlier today outside of our factory. So this is physically right next to where I'm standing at the moment, but because of technical things, we want to keep this presentation indoors. Anyways, this is a third generation Cactus DC string. The string is a combination of DC blocks. This particular system is available in two different configurations, so two different product names. We have the Mylo, which is a 520 kilowatt-hour system, and it operates in a 400-volt three-phase system. So the Mylo is meant for low-voltage facilities, such as, again, commercial and industrial facilities. The Mylo has, as said, 520 kilowatt-hours of capacity and 260 kilowatts of power. So it is a 2-hour battery. The Mylo is fully self-contained, so in this gray enclosure here, it would include also the inverter and all the auxiliary components. Now the Cactus 3 platform is also available in the medium voltage configuration, so at the 20 kilovolt voltage level. In the 20 kilovolt configuration, the Nevado, which we call it, comes complete with a large inverter, which is in this picture in the middle, as well as the transformer, which is in the right. The Nevado is the perfect product for grid-scale projects as well as large C&I applications, such as large manufacturing facilities or larger factories. The Nevado starts at 4.2 megawatt hours. And in the smallest configuration, the power is 2.2 megawatts. And the product line goes all the way to above 50 megawatt hours. So it is also modular and highly configurable for different kinds of needs. The first Cactus 3 products, Nevados, are shipping shortly. And they are also available already for sale to our clients, and again, complete with the full service package as well as the financing as we always offer for our clients. Very good. Before moving to questions, I would like to once again go through why we exist and why we do it the way we do it. Firstly, the global energy landscape is changing. Electricity consumption is rising at a rapid rate. And the electricity consumption is different from what we used to see. It's variable and there are big loads. The grids cannot cope with it. At the same time, market prices are very volatile, causing undue risks for our clients in their operations in use of electricity. What Cactus does to help our clients is firstly, debottlenecking the grid, granting our clients the ability to use electricity at the required power for their operations. Secondly, we provide our clients with a hedge against market risk and affordable electricity. And thirdly, we grant them market access and we trade on their behalf to earn income in the electrical markets. Thank you very much. We are now done with the kind of official part, but we have some questions, I believe, which I will make my best to answer.
We do. First of all, thank you, Oskari, for this exciting and very interesting tour today. I think we all learned a lot, or at least I did. We have received quite a lot of questions from the audience prior to the show. Let's go through a couple of them now. And yeah, kind reminder for all you out there that you will also receive the recording after the show, so you come back to the moments. But yeah, a couple of questions here. What we had about recycling. How Cactus is taking care of recycling of the batteries?
That's a very important question. Recycling in Europe is governed under producer liability regulation. Cactus is a battery producer. Battery importers are also subject to the same legislation. And by law, the producers and importers of batteries need to make sure and build up the required recycling infrastructure. In practice, how this is handled in Finland, which is same for most of the other places where we operate in, is through a producer community. So in Finland, Rexer has organized a community of battery manufacturers and importers who are collecting fees from new battery projects to finance the recycling infrastructure for large industrial batteries. This works the same way in, for instance, Sweden, where we operate in as well.
Good. Second, Cactus has said earlier that it has started selling electricity and especially cheaper electricity for its clients. What this means in practice?
The cheap electricity in practice very simply means spot plus 0.3 cents, which is below market rates today. What we see the going rate for businesses in spot priced electricity is 0.5 or 0.6 cents. How we do it is, in principle, is because we can avoid imbalance quite efficiently. So the electrical system, the electricity markets are based on a concept called balance responsibility. BRPs, or balance responsible parties, are liable to make sure that for each 15-minute period they buy and sell the equivalent amount of electrical energy. Now, of course, all the BRPs try to forecast how much their clients consume or generate, and they are able to trade in the markets. So OTC markets as well as then day-ahead intraday markets. However, what we have that most others don't is that we know in real time, firstly, how much our clients are consuming. So if we see that actually our forecasts are going sideways, in real time we can update either our market plan or then the second difference, during the balancing interval, so during the 15-minute period when you can't anymore trade in the intraday markets, we can also use the batteries to eliminate our imbalance. And imbalance charges are high, up to 10,000 euros per megawatt hour. So basically, a large imbalance can wipe out a smaller electrical company in a matter of 15 minutes or a few. So we don't need to transfer all of that imbalance risk to our prices because we can manage it using the battery infrastructure we have.
Nice one. Maybe time for one more. A lot of questions also regarding the new product line, now Mylo and Nevado, what we just saw. How is this new product line different to the existing ones.
Yeah. They of course make use of the same software package, the same services, the same financing. So in the sense, they are a very integral part of the Cactus product family. But what's different about the hardware is really the compactness of the DC block. So the novel DC block is very small comparatively, comparing to the other products in the markets. Our DC block is very size efficient. It also means that it has less auxiliary components comparing to other models. So as we see the product, the Nevado and the Milo, they're quite small in comparing to how much capacity they have, which of course saves cost from us in manufacturing and then enables us to have lower prices towards our clients. So I think the key things is that they are part of the same high quality Cactus product family. They come with the services, so we guarantee their availability and we make sure that everything works for the client. But then specifically for these products, they are very cost competitive and they are quite small physically. So they are easy to install in most places.
Awesome. I think the time is up. Once again, Oskari, thank you. It was very exciting day today. If you liked what you saw, subscribe into our channels, YouTube, follow our journey also on LinkedIn and other social media channels we have there. And for more information, you can go obviously to cactus.com.
Thank you very much.